All righty. I hereby call the City Council meeting for March 25th, 2021 to order. If I could get everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Thank you all. Linda, if I could get you to do roll call, please.
Okay, Councilmember Andrusik.
Here.
Councilmember King.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Here.
Vice Mayor Sanchez.
Here.
And Mayor Sierra.
Here. Thank you very much. Do we have any reordering of the agenda tonight?
No, ma'am. No reordering this evening.
All righty. And Linda, I'm opening up public comment. This is the public's opportunity to speak about anything they care to. They've got 3 minutes to let us know what they're thinking. I don't have any speaker slips. I didn't get any emails. Linda, did you?
No emails.
All righty. Then I am closing public comment. Moving on to the consent calendar. We have 6 items tonight. The minutes of March 6th, 2021 special city council meeting. The minutes of March 11th, 2021 regular city council meeting. List of claims to be approved and ratified for payment today for fiscal year 2020, 2021. The monthly treasurer's report, February 28th, 2021. Resolution number 21-06, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Buellton, California, authorizing the filing of a claim with the Santa Barbara County Association of Governments for allocation of Transportation Development Act funds for fiscal year 2021-22. And last is to receive and file the 2020 annual report on the status of the general plan. Does council have any questions for staff, or is there a motion?
For approval, King.
Second.
Okay. Councilman King and seconded by Councilman Andrusik. Linda?
Okay, Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Andrusik.
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Sanchez.
Aye.
And Mayor Sierra.
Aye. Thank you very much. Do we have any presentations tonight?
We have no presentations this evening,
Any public hearings tonight?
nor do we have any public hearings.
Thank you very much. Then we move on to council member comments/items. And this is anything council would like brought back on the agenda for further discussion, or something going on in town that they want to let us know about. So I'll start with Vice Mayor Sanchez. Any comments or items from you?
No, nothing at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Andrusik?
I do not have anything on the tip of my tongue, ma'am.
Councilmember Lewis?
No, ma'am.
All righty. And Councilman King?
The only thing I have is, now that we have the eucalyptus trees gone, I don't know if this is premature, but staff could start looking into partnering with Caltrans on completing our sidewalks through Buellton in that area.
We will begin that process here very shortly. We will also be bringing a matter back to the City Council to address the possibility for some temporary landscaping or other screening in that area now that the trees have been removed. You can expect to see that probably at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I just wanted to remind everybody we're in the red tier. So businesses are relaxing a little bit. You can eat inside a restaurant, a certain capacity. That doesn't mean we stop wearing masks. Keep wearing your masks, socially distance, wash your hands a lot. We're so close to getting over this that it's important to keep on top of it. And that there will be a ribbon cutting Saturday, 9:30 a.m. at Santa Ynez Botanic Garden for their new entryway into this beautiful facility. So if anybody wants to come and check it out. The ribbon cutting is in 9:30 in the morning, and it'll be there from then on. So come enjoy the Botanic Gardens. Moving on to written communications. Do we have any written communications?
No written communications this evening.
All righty. Committee reports. Anybody have a committee report? Mr. or Vice Mayor Sanchez, would you like to, you were participating, you were there on the Library Advisory Committee. It's nice to have company there. Anything to report from that?
No, I just wanted to just say I listened. I haven't been to one for a while, and so I was in on the meeting, and it was interesting. So hopefully everything goes well with that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And my understanding is that the libraries, I don't know specifically that Buellton is, but Santa Barbara County libraries are going into, it's called a grab and go, where they're allowing one person in for 10 minutes to browse, check out a book, and then get out, and then another patron can come in. So I'm hoping that that'll happen soon. And they just bought some new computers for our Buellton library. So I was told that our bill for next year will be about $1,900 less. So, you know, every little bit helps. Any other committee reports?
Madam Mayor, I had, when I was trying to gather my notes, I apparently laid them down somewhere, but the biggest thing that was announced today was our allocation is down to 5%. And that's, and it's there, we're going to be hard pressed for water. The projections are we're not going to be having too much, and the state has cut us back to 5% of our allocation, which is a pretty good, it's a pretty good whack. So it's important, and I know staff is trying to make it. Let's see, urban water management plan for 25 years. They're it's pretty much going to be totally rewritten, because there's nothing in the pipeline, no forecasting for the kind of water we've had. And that's usually when the storms come, when you say, oh, that's it, we're not going to get any, and then they're going, where's that jerk that said we're not going to have any water? We're bailing our house out of water. So it's okay. Just want to let you know that water's going to be being rationed if it doesn't. He didn't say rationing, but 5% is a pretty low number for our allocation.
Is the 5% for the rest of this calendar year, or just until
I think it's
further
just
notice?
Now. It's until further notice. So, okay. I mean, a good storm could really change that, but they're not talking about anything on the horizon. So,
thank you very much.
You bet.
All righty. Yes, go ahead. Anybody else?
Madam Mayor. Yeah, and I did listen into that CCWA meeting today, and as Ed pointed out, our allocation was 10%, and the state knocked it down to 5%. And they showed a graph of historically much lower water this year than we have had in the past. So, as to dovetail on what Ed said, it looks like at least this county is going to have to, probably the other counties as well, are going to have to cut back on water usage. And then there was also a discussion about is it Amendment 21, Ed, that they were talking about?
Amendment 20, yeah, the amendment for approval of water agreements, and the county has refused to accept it. And we're working. We're trying to get a consensus, or have them. We're the only ones. There were 29 purveyors. 20. I believe all but one of them have agreed to the. They're going along with it, but we have. I'm sorry, I have that backwards. The only one is going to. Seem to find. I wrote it down, and I didn't. Let's see. I laid it down somewhere. I apologize, but it's you get the gist of it. It was the forecast for the water. It's not just turning on a spigot.
And from what I recall from listening into the meeting, it is, I think we are the only, CCWA is the only one that's not into the sale of water to other agencies. And that is where it's come to become a big issue with the county. And the county has changed their position on this issue about 4 times in the last month. So there's going to have to be some more meetings with this. I think we have a special meeting coming up in April to discuss this issue. But we have been basically water sharing in the past, and under this new 21 Amendment 21, is they want to be able to sell water to the other agencies. But there's going to be a big discussion about that in the future, because the way I'm looking at this is that if you start selling water to other agencies, especially outside the county of Santa Barbara, then, you know, if we get in a position where we're short water, they have a glut of water, you know, they can almost hold us hostage at buying water from them at whatever they want to charge us. So I think those are the discussions that are going to be coming out in the future.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Just so you know, the CCW Council has been briefing the city attorneys and other relevant legal counsel, the CCWA members. I have a report from them that I can send to the entire council. I'll do it as an attorney-client communication, and then I'll invite any of the 5 of you that have questions on that to contact me directly. I might be able to answer them in that way. And then if this is something we want to agendize for a future meeting for discussion, we can certainly do that as well. But I think that CCWA's general manager and legal counsel keep negotiating with the county. And as I say, I'll give you some of the insight tomorrow in that memo that will come in an email to each of the 5 of you. Hopefully that'll.
Thank you. Thank you.
And,
Thank you very much.
I wanted to add, it's referred to as Amendment 21. So that's the buzzword to be looking at when you're hearing this being over the news waves, because it'll probably be in the papers pretty regularly for a while. It was Feather River has 0% projected in the next 10 days for rainfall, and so it's a place where normally the water flows, and it's we're just in a buckle.
Right.
Well, I'm grateful that Buellton has its aquifers.
Yep.
So we do have water in Buellton. We don't depend on the state water. It's nice to have.
I think that's going to come up in discussion later too. So stand by.
Okay, good. All righty. Any other committee reports? If not, then I'm moving on to our business items. We've got 3 tonight. Agenda item number 7 is resolution number 21-05, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Buellton, California, approving applications for per capita grant funds. And this is going to be a presentation by Mr. Kyle Abello.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, honorable council members. As you might recall, the 2018 Parks and Water Bond Act, also known as Proposition 68, had many different funds available from the sale of state bonds. In particular, they have a per capita program, which each city in the state is allocated $177,952. And that is for eligible projects, which consist of capital outlay for land acquisition or improvements to existing parks. This is different from the competitive grant that we were an applicant for and were unsuccessful last year. At that time, with the San Ynez Valley Aquatics Foundation and the high school, we had dedicated a portion of the per capita funds, if we were to get those in time, to that project. But because that was part of an agreement dependent on receiving that particular grant, that is now null and void. And so we are moving forward for the per capita program grant for the city. And those program applications are now available, so we are able to apply. There is a 20% matching requirement by the city to receive these funds. That's about $44,000. This amount can also include staff time spent on work related to the grant project. So engineering costs by our public works director, city engineer, even time spent on complying with some of the application steps. The first part of the step of this grant application process is tonight's item, the approval of a resolution accepting these funds. And then at a future meeting, the city council can identify a project or projects to be included in the grant application. The deadline for the application is December 31st of this year. It is important to note that eligible projects must either be located in existing parks or in land already dedicated to park use. So unfortunately, the Williamson property with its current zoning and land use is not eligible for those grant funds. The recommendation is that the city council consider adoption of resolution number 21-05. Some ideas just to get you thinking, but this is for a future agenda item discussion. Those possible projects can be multiple smaller projects as part of one application. So for instance, some of the things that the council has indicated interest in the past at Riverview Park, such as bocce courts, pickleball, restriping of the basketball courts, a second phase of the bike skills course, or even those adult exercise stations. Those are all things that could be eligible for this per capita grant. So with that, I'll stand ready to answer any questions that I might.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, are there any questions for Mr. Abello?
Oh, ma'am.
My only question, Kyle, it's 177,000. We're supposed to match it with, you said 48,000?
44,000, so 20%.
Right.
And again, that could be staff time.
Right. So if we put in the 44%, we're going to get 177. So it'd be like 220,000 to put toward these wonderful projects down the line. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
To put it in perspective, that the last time that the state passed a per capita grant like this was 2002. At that time, each city got 200,000. So it's going the wrong way for inflation, unfortunately.
Well, it's something we certainly could use in our community, though.
Yeah.
Okay. If there are no questions, I'm going to open it up to public comment. Again, I did not receive any emails on this one. Linda, do you have anything?
No comments.
All righty. Then I'm closing public comment, bringing it back for discussion and possible action.
I'd make a motion to approve if there's no discussion.
I will second that. Thank you. Linda?
Okay, Councilmember Lewis.
Aye.
Mayor Sierra.
Aye.
Councilmember Andrusik.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
And Vice Mayor Sanchez.
Aye.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Kind of a no-brainer, but agenda item number 8. Thank you very much. And now, the sooner you get it in, the sooner we get our money?
No.
It doesn't work that way. Okay.
I just,
I would hate to have the state run out of money.
No.
They probably have a minimum.
Okay.
Minimum contribution.
Agenda item number 8, consideration of approval of arts and culture project application. This is the Memorial Day Kids and Community. Again, Mr. Abello.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and honorable council members. The applicant for this project is a local Buellton resident and a volunteer member of the Arts and Culture Committee, Stacy Kiss, and she's here with us tonight to answer some questions later. Her appreciation for all types of art led her to create Me Factor, which is a platform for people to showcase their artistic talent and bring their art to the world. This particular project has a twofold purpose. The first is to engage school-age children in civic awareness by expressing the meaning of Memorial Day through art. And the second is for providing a way for the community to write notes of appreciation in memory or in honor of those who have served and given their lives for our country. The kids' art portion will include the entire student body of Los Olivos Elementary School with kits to paint 12 by 12 inch aluminum panels. And that the theme is, what does Memorial Day mean to me? Those will be displayed in multi-frame structures on the statue median on the Avenue of Flags near the sculptures that are there. The Los Olivos School was chosen because they had been in session 5 days a week in person with teachers for a considerable amount of time. And it was actually at the time of the application, our own schools hadn't been back in person at all. The community appreciation notes will be special cardstock design, and they'll have pens and small mailbox stations near the art displays. So people will be able to view the art and also make a little note of appreciation. If approved, the project will be coordinated with the statue project to maximize the reception, which is planned for near Memorial Day and throughout the display period. Probably there'll be co-terminus, so go throughout the summertime and Memorial Day and forward. The complete project application you've seen as your attachment 1, as well as attachment 2, which is a project pricing sheet, which breaks down those expenses. The grant of $9,986 would pay for the paint, aluminum panels, construction and installation of the display stands, mailboxes, note cards, and miscellaneous supplies. And in addition, the applicant, Stacy, would create an online website with all of the children's artwork, as well as some of the notes of appreciation to our veterans. They'll also be available for viewing online, also with promotion of the project and the display on social media. Any unspent funds, of course, are required to be returned to the city. The Arts and Culture Committee discussed the project at length and recommended approval. The fiscal impact, as I mentioned, is $9,986 if approved. The current budget remaining for the Arts and Culture project is $42,770. So the recommendation of staff is the City Council consider approval to fund the Memorial Day Kids and Community Project. And if you have questions for me, I'm happy to answer those, or we can turn it over to Ms. Kiss to talk about her own project.
If it's okay with council, I'd really like to hear from Stacy Kiss and hear a little bit more about the project.
Hi, thank you, Madam Mayor and honorable council members. This project came as a conglomeration of a couple of different ideas through the Arts Committee, and we were really looking at ways to get kids involved in art and the community, and also, how would we do this, under the current, conditions that people are dealing with COVID and the various restrictions. Some people in school, some people not in school, and also getting the community out to, to celebrate and honor Memorial Day in a different fashion, perhaps than before. And so that's the background about how this came about. And so one of the ways to do this was through art. And we're looking around at how a little difficult right now to individually engage children from where we are. And so we looked at what schools are in session, how would we distribute a kit with everything that they would need in it, have the teachers in a position where they can, facilitate this for the children. We can gather the materials back, build these boards, and then the kids can come to the Avenue of the Flags and walk along the displays, find their piece of art, bring their families and friends. And for those who are unable to get out and see them, either for health restrictions or physical restrictions. They would be able to direct their loved ones, and friends to this online place where they would be able to see this. And in addition, we have unofficial mailboxes that would be positioned near the displays. And this would be about 200 12 by 12 panels that the kids would be painting on. And the mailboxes would be positioned near them with cards that people can, just in memoriam, write nice notes to people that are no longer with us. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those notes of memoriam and create books that we will then, present to the city council and to the arts committee as, this is one of the things that had done. And then also to the vets community as well, in a display for them. And so it's really just a way for people to be able to get out and still social distance, and also create something, and also still be a part of a community. And it's something that, on this smaller size scale, that is something that we can take and, replicate in other instances also, potentially when more people are back in school.
Thank you. Council, any questions for Mr. Bello or Ms. Kiss?
I think
Councilman
it's a
King?
positive idea, a great positive idea. Thank you, Stacy.
Councilman King, did you have a question?
We're just turning my mic back on, but I'll wait for the comment section.
Okay. Councilmember Lewis, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. And Vice Mayor Sanchez, questions?
No questions.
Okay. I just had a couple. First of all, they're going to be put out on the avenue. Are they pretty weather tolerant? We get the winds. You're going to make sure these are pretty much planted down there?
Yes, exactly. I have a sample here.
Oh, good.
This has a covering over it, but it's white. And what it is actually, it's metal, and it's metal on both sides with a structured material in between. And it's very, very sturdy, very solid. And then these panels will be slid into channels that will hold them. And so they won't go anywhere. And then that gets put onto poles. And those go into the ground in a way that will not tear up any lawn or anything like that. They'll just be easy to put in, easy to remove. And they just, the rebar goes deep. And so it'll be sturdy, and we're not planning on them. It'll be three rows high of 10 across. And so, that's going to, keep people from, trying to sit or hang on them, and then it also
smart thinking. Yeah.
Thank you. We tried to think out quite a few of these things so that it wouldn't be problematic. And then we would, they'll sit, like I said, they'll sit in the channels, and they'll only be, no more than, about 4.5 feet high. So they're not going to be, really high up in the air, and they'll be locked in.
Wonderful. And that's 30 of them. And you're planning on doing, you said 200 of them? No.
So there will be about 7 installations of.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wonderful.
Each
And go
at,
ahead.
Each student at Los Olivos School will do one, so it'll be about 200.
And we'll have a few extra.
Wonderful. Well, I'm hoping that this is something that we can bring. I know that Los Olivos was open during the time, but it'd sure be nice to have some of our own local schools, Oak Valley or Hanada, be able to participate perhaps later on.
we're hoping if this is well received, that it might be something that would be very meaningful and, easy to replicate as well for, for Veterans Day in November. So that's kind of the vision to, to bring more people in, to this type of art and displaying it in a way where people come into our city and look at it and enjoy it and appreciate it in that way.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And incidentally, those aluminum panels are the same all-weather resistant that the mural project is painted on. So they're meant to be outside and facing the weather.
And they will have special paints that are, weather resistant, and then they're coated with a special coating as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. If we don't have any other questions, I'll open it up to the public. Linda, any public comment on this?
No comments.
Okay, closing public comment, bringing it back to council. Ladies and gentlemen, discussion, action?
Motion to approve.
Councilmember Alicia made a motion.
And I will second that.
Councilman King seconds it. Thank you. Linda?
Okay, Councilmember Lewis.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Andrusik.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Sanchez.
Aye.
And Mayor Sierra.
Aye. I can't wait to see it. I appreciate you bringing it to our Arts and Culture Committee, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, as are we.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, I would like
Yes,
to
sir.
thank John. I would like to thank Councilmember Sanchez for getting the arts and culture on the docket for our conversations. And this is another great project that's come out of their efforts. And I think you need to be congratulated for that, John. Thank you.
I'd just like to make a comment too, that this is it's art, has patriotism, has kids, promotes art on the Avenue, and it's inclusive of the Valley. So I think it's great for the city, and it's my honor to be part of the group. And thanks, Stacy and Kyle for getting this. So I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you.
Terrific.
Madam Mayor, before we go on this, I like to thank Kyle and Stacy for doing this, because I think we need to constantly remind people that there are a lot of veterans, not only in this community, but across the country, that have sacrificed, myself included, a lot of hours, a lot of sacrifice on their own part, their freedoms. Basically, you just can't walk away from the military, that have done their part to keep this country what it is today. And I really appreciate them educating, especially our youth, with, appreciating those veterans that did sacrifice themselves for this country.
Symbolic.
And what better place than to have it on Avenue of Flags?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, if everybody's done thanking everybody, we're going to move on then to agenda item number 9, consideration of a new contract with Metro Ventures Ltd. for Irma L. Tucker to provide professional planning services. Tonight we have Andrea Kiefer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. The contract for Irma L. Tucker of Metro Ventures for planning or professional planning services expires on June 30th, 2021. Ms. Tucker has assisted the planning department by taking on major special projects and work that is subject to reimbursement by major developers. Ms. Tucker's services have been invaluable in reducing the department's overall workload and have allowed for the completion of tasks and projects that may have otherwise not been able to be completed as efficiently. Under the current contract, Ms. Tucker has expended approximately 49% of her total hours allowed under the contract, and total charges to the city so far have amounted to $28,107, and that's through February 2021. With approximately $2,000 of those dollars billed to private development projects. Approximately 55% of her hours have been spent on the land use and circulation element update to date. And this is consistent with the scope of the Metro Ventures contract. It is anticipated that Ms. Tucker will expend the total amount under the current contract. At the time of the last request brought forward to the City Council back in September of last year, it was anticipated that Ms. Tucker's services would be needed through at least the end of fiscal year 2021. And upon recent reevaluation of the workload and given the anticipated timeline of several projects currently underway, staff's position is that Ms. Tucker's services will continue to be necessary through March 2022. So to demonstrate this need more specifically, a table was included in the staff report to show a list of projects that Ms. Tucker would be tasked with should the council decide to enter into a new contract. The table also describes where the funds would come from for each particular project or task and the estimated timeline for completion for each of the projects. Of note from this table is the land use and circulation element update that is currently underway. Ms. Tucker has been serving as the project manager for this update. It is anticipated and estimated that the loose update, as it is otherwise known, will be completed by sometime around February 2022. If council chooses to renew the contract through March 3rd, 2022, which is the request before the council tonight, this would allow at a minimum the completion of this project. Upon completion of the loose update project, a zoning update will likely follow. Ms. Tucker may be tasked with work in preparation for this update. Staff is also currently working on the community design guidelines update, which is expected to be completed by sometime this fall, if not sooner. And much of this update, the community design guidelines update, involves incorporating the Art Deco design standards from the Avenue of Flag specific plan. Hence the purpose for assigning this portion of the community design guidelines update to Ms. Tucker. There are also several private development projects in various stages of the application and review process, several of which are located within the Avenue of Flag specific plan. Ms. Tucker has served as the project manager for projects such as the Creekside Village project, ARCO AMPM project, 518 Avenue of Flags mixed use project, as well as several other private development projects that are subject to reimbursement by the developers to the city. In addition, yet another long-range planning project that is on the horizon here is the housing element update. This project is expected to begin later this year sometime, potentially in the fall. And just as a note, the city must have an adopted housing element by February 2023. Recently, the city has been awarded a couple of grants, which include funds that could be used for certain types of consultant work. And so to that end, it's likely that a portion of these funds could be used to cover Ms. Tucker's time spent on work related to the housing element update. The total proposed contract would be for 525 hours at $81 per hour for a total contract amount of $42,525. So this would include an average of 15 hours per week. The prior contract had been for an average of 20 hours per week. The scope of work for the contract with Metro Ventures Limited would be limited to the specific projects and tasks listed in the table in the staff report and described tonight. And note that a portion of Ms. Tucker's contract hours would be for reimbursable expenses. However, at this time, the amount of hours that would be reimbursed is not known. It can be estimated, however, that Ms. Tucker would spend at least approximately 50% of her time working on the loose update. And it is estimated that the remaining hours would be spent on several of the projects listed, again, in the table in the staff report, one or more of those for the remainder of the hours under her contract. The planning department continues to work toward transitioning its workload to staff planners. And to that end, staff is proposing a 25% reduction in Ms. Tucker's contract hours from the current contract to continue this transition. The unanticipated disruptions, of course, associated with the COVID-19 pandemic and coupled with the ongoing long-range planning projects and several large development projects in the pipeline or that are anticipated to be in the pipeline shortly, has created a workload which would create a time constraint that would eliminate the department's ability to take on its normal work. Ms. Tucker's services through March 3rd, 2022 would be invaluable to allow the planning department to continue to take on its normal work in a timely manner. In terms of fiscal impacts to the city, an amount of $42,525 would be needed to be included in the fiscal year 21-22 budget to cover the cost of the contract services with Metro Ventures Limited. Again, it's anticipated that a portion of her contract will be covered by private development project reimbursement and/or grant funds that have been awarded to the city. And while efforts will be made to cover as much of the cost of the contract to private development reimbursement and grant funding, the amount that ultimately will be reimbursable is not known at this time. Therefore, the maximum fiscal impact to the city beyond what is currently budgeted would be $42,525. A copy of the draft contract has been included in attachment 1 of the staff report. And at this time, staff recommends that the City Council authorize the city manager to enter into a new contract for contract planning services with Metro Ventures Limited, beginning on July 1st, 2021 and ending on March 3rd, 2022, with a rate of $81 per hour for a maximum of 525 hours. With that concludes my report, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you very much. Does council have any questions for Ms. Kiefer? Councilman King?
No, ma'am, I was just turning my audio back on.
Okay, you keep messing me up there. I don't see any questions, so I'll go to the public. Linda, do we have anybody that wishes to speak on this item?
No comments.
Thank you very much. Then I bring it back to council for discussion and possible action.
Madam Mayor, I move that we authorize the city manager to enter into a new contract for contract planning services with Metro Ventures, specifically Irma Tucker, beginning July 1st, 2021, ending March 3rd, 2022, and as presented by our planning director, Andrea Kiefer.
No, second.
Thank you very much. Is there a second on that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, John, second.
Vice Mayor Sanchez made the second. I'm sorry, my dog just entered the room. She distracted me. Linda?
Okay, Councilmember King.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Sanchez.
Aye.
Councilmember Andrusik.
Aye.
Councilmember Lewis.
Aye.
And Mayor Sierra.
Aye. Good. We're very fortunate to have Irma. So thank you.
Thank you,
Moving on to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. I'm going to start the City Manager's report by calling on a couple of our other staff members to make some brief announcements about a couple of things coming up. We just heard from Ms. Kiefer, so if she can step back in and give us a quick update on our loose update activities at this point.
Yeah, no problem. So the upcoming item that's related to the loose update, we are at the point where we are going to be holding the EIR Environmental Impact Report scoping meeting. That meeting will be happening next Wednesday on the March 31st, 6 p.m. via Zoom. We are requiring pre-registration. It is open to any and all community members that wish to attend. We just ask that anybody interested in actually participating on the Zoom the day of the meeting, contact the planning department. We have an email available, or you can call the planning department, but the email is planning@cityofbuellton.com to get on the email list for the Zoom information for the night of the meeting. And really, this meeting will be spearheaded by Rincon Consultants, one of the consultants that we have contracted with to prepare the environmental document for the loose update. And the purpose of the scoping meeting next Wednesday night will be to present sort of what the EIR process means, so that the community can become familiar with that process, and as well as obtaining input from the community members in terms of what they feel should be something addressed in the environmental impact report for the loose update. So again, any community members are encouraged to attend, and just noting that pre-registration, we are requiring that, and if they could contact the planning department by March 30th to get on that list to attend via Zoom, that's what we are asking for. In addition, though, if somebody does not want to pre-register and actually attend the Zoom, they can actually watch the meeting live the night of the meeting and send in their comments via email if they wish to do that as well. So.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to have Mr. Abello make an announcement for an upcoming event we have coming.
Yes, our Easter extravaganza, 30th annual. This was the very first big special event that was canceled last year. We ended up teaming up with Candace Signa and our local awesome Buellton team to do Easter egg deliveries to families in the city. This year, we're continuing to be creative since we can't have our usual 1,000+ crowd for a single time of everybody rushing across the big lawn at Riverview. So we working with our Solvang counterparts on this joint program, we're dividing up all the eggs between 6 different parks. So in Buellton, it would be Riverview Park, Oak Park, and Village Park. In Solvang, it'll be the Alisal Commons across from the river course, the Sunnyfields Park, and Hans Christian Andersen Park. Friday night, we have National Charity League volunteers, and we're hiding all the eggs. It'll be, because they're more spread out, they'll be more difficult to find, not just in the middle of the lawn, but under picnic tables and in planters. And then the next day, on Saturday, April 3rd, families can come at their own pace. There'll be maps and pamphlets at each location to show the areas where eggs are and are not, such as they will not be in the Botanic Garden. So don't try to dig up all the plants to find them. And we'll also have information, because there'll be some eggs will have tickets in them for prizes that people can redeem at the rec center office. And we are asking folks to limit 8 eggs per child. So it's like the honor system at Halloween. Hopefully we'll hide them hard enough that they'll be hard pressed to find 8 in quick succession. But we hope that people will honor that, so that there'll be enough left, by later in the day, so that when the parks open up at sunrise, they're not all picked clean in a matter of minutes.
And what day is this, Kyle? What day is this?
Saturday, April 3rd, the day before Easter.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I have one other item to discuss this evening. We received notification from the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department that as of today, the the county was authorizing the vaccination for COVID of all persons in the county 50 years of age and older. So up until today, it was 65 and over, and those with certain medical conditions. As of today, anyone 50 years and over is now eligible to receive the vaccine. I would advise everyone who's looking for that vaccine to obtain an appointment to receive that beginning Monday morning on the county's public health website. Go to the publichealthsbc.org and look for the vaccination link, and it will take you to the place, and you can look for and obtain an appointment for that vaccine. If you have any questions regarding the vaccine, County Public Health can be reached by dialing 211, and you can ask whoever answers the phone, and they'll be happy to find an answer for you. And with that, I'll conclude the report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions the council may have.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the city manager? Okay, then.
I had a question.
Yes.
I had a question for Kyle. Are you going to have the adult egg hunt this year?
Not this year.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We're disappointed. That was,
Okay.
they had some good prizes for that one.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Mr. Murphy? Do we have anything after the city manager's report?
We do not. We were going to have closed session, but that has been canceled for this evening. We did not have a report that would necessitate us going in. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. That would explain why we don't have a phone number.
Yeah.
With that then, yeah.
I was going to say, that's what I was looking. I was looking for that phone number for the meeting, and thank you very much, Greg, for canceling that.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, come on, guys. With that, I am adjourning this meeting. Our next meeting will be Thursday, April 8th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Via Zoom. Look forward to seeing you all back in a couple weeks. So have a good night.
All right, good
Less
night,
than
all.
55 minutes.
Nice.